on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unraveled Pod. I am your co-host, Stephanie.
And I am your co-host, Tiara.
And we are so glad that you came back. You must have enjoyed the last conversation. Well, this conversation is just going to be as good, if not better.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about something that I am very passionate about, which I don't feel like I would be the woman that I am today without this thing. I actually have one person who is the epitome of this thing sitting right here next to me. She personifies kingdom friendships, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Hey.
What comes to your mind when you think about kingdom friendships?
Ooh, okay. So when I think about kingdom friendships, I think about those friends that God specifically placed in your life to help you become who he created you to be.
I love that. Yes. Almost like covenant relationships.
Yes.
You think about Jesus. Jesus needed 12 friends to do what he was sent here to do.
Yeah.
And he empowered them, and they did life together, and they impacted the world.
Changed my life.
Changed my life too. So, this is something that came to my mind right when you were talking. Do you think that there's a difference between Christian friends and kingdom?
And you know I do. And you know I do.
I know you're going to eat this up.
You know I feel very strongly about this. But no, I think that in general, not even just in terms of friends, but like Christian and kingdom are two different things. I think Christian is a denomination. I identify as that denomination. Nothing wrong with that, right? But I think that when it comes to kingdom, it's no longer just about following the rules. It's no longer just about going to church and adhering to customs and courtesies. Now it is about, God, how do I help to establish what you have built for the earth? I will allow myself to be a vessel that you can use. I'm willing to sacrifice my reputation. I'm willing to sacrifice my time in order to build what you want to build. And so I feel likewise in friendships, you can have Christian friendships. It's like, oh, we go to church together, or, you know, oh, we do this together. But I think kingdom friendships is when you can get on that prayer call and cover one another and cover people that you don't know. Absolutely. I think that kingdom friendships is those friendships where they bring you back to who you are. Absolutely. When you're losing your way, when you want to respond in one way, they encourage you to be who you are. They edify you, and they're always pointing you in the direction of God. I think that another difference is kingdom friendships are those where when I don't have the strength and when I know that I'm not walking with God and I'm not living right, I'm not just being thrown away because I'm no longer in alignment with these set of rules that I'm supposed to be following. But they are the friendships that will restore you when you're broken, when you're down, when you're not acting like yourself, or when you are acting like yourself and you just wilding out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. What came to my mind when you said that was that you can't have kingdom friendships with people who don't have a kingdom heart. We want kingdom friendships with people who don't have the heart of the king, who don't have the kingdom at the forefront of their mind, because the kingdom looks at everything contrary to the world's view. The world says, get back. The kingdom says, love thy neighbor as thyself. The world says, do everything fast. The kingdom says, be patient, be kind. Love isn't boastful. Love isn't envious. It holds no record of wrong. I think I had to learn, honestly, more so in my adulthood, that the friendships that I had were with Christian women, but they weren't necessarily with women who had allowed the Lord to change their heart and who saw relationships as not only supportive measures, or the word that I'm looking for is like protective factors. They don't just see it as protective factors. They also see it as a person that is meant to go through life with you. Like I think about Jonathan and David. They were meant to be in kingdom relationship. Yeah. When Saul's son he's like, no, you're supposed to be the king. When that was rightfully his, technically.
Yes.
But when you are in a kingdom relationship, you see beyond yourself. You understand that sacrifice is a part of it. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man would lay down his life for his friends. Jesus sacrificed everything for his friends. It's a major difference. And I think if you're looking for a kingdom response from people who have not allowed the Lord to reign in their life and purify their heart, they have not submitted their life unto him, then you're looking to be heartbroken because they don't have the capacity to see it in another sphere of influence.
Right. That's so good. I'm also thinking about the fact that I think sometimes people select their friendships, even like with Christian friendships, based on an aesthetic. Like, oh, we do these types of things together. We all have this kind of look. We have these types of lives. And I think that it bases the friendship on things that are very shallow. And all it takes is that first disagreement, right. That first confrontation, that first boundary that's set, right? That first time that, you realize the humanity in the people that you're doing life with, for you to say, oh, no, this don't fit. I'm good. So I would be curious to hear from you, even in having kingdom friendships, what are some of the breaking points? Because sometimes, just like we have divorce, right? You enter into covenant when you enter into marriage, but people do opt out of it all the time. So when it comes to kingdom friendships, what are some of the areas where we might be opting out, even if we're called to continue those relationships? Or do you think that even kingdom friendships can be seasonal?
That is actually the direction I was going. I 100% believe that kingdom friendships can be seasonal. I believe that we are all on an assignment, but within that assignment, there are small assignments, and some relationships are transient. They're not meant to go into other seasons or decades of our life. I actually believe that everything has an expiration date. And I think we get into murky waters when we try to hold on to something and we idolize a friendship. I think we need to know when we acquire a new friend, if it's someone who is sent from the Lord, that there is going to maybe be a point in time where we have to depart, or the dynamics of that relationship change because things are seasonal. Yeah. And you never know, too. I feel like this is important to mention. We all have free will. When the Lord assigned you to a person and assigned a person to you, he had the best intentions for that relationship in mind. But that person could potentially change the direction of their own life. And so then that changes the contents and the structure of that friendship. Yeah. They had free will. You have free will. Now we are not in alignment anymore. And if I am idolizing a friendship, then I'm not as aware, and I'm not discerning the times when we are no longer in alignment. And then I'm holding on to something out of fear, or because society says that if you disconnect from this person, then you're ghosting them. Or we need to hold on to friends because it's hard to make friends in your 30s and your 40s. All of these different things that we're up against, if I am not in tune with the Lord, then I'm operating out of fear, and I'm holding on to a friendship where the Lord may be saying, I want you to relinquish this relationship to me because I want to provide someone else that's going to be more of a resource, a person who understands and sees things from my vantage point.
That's good.
But I feel like that's also why you have to submit every friendship, every relationship in your life to the Lord. Last thing I'll say, I have a method that I use when I meet new people. And I take them through like a metal detector in my mind, or like airport security more so. Mm-hmm. If I see the Holy Spirit give me a green, then that person is permitted to be in my life. If I see Holy Spirit gives me like a yellow, that means that I need to proceed with caution with that person. If I sense a red, I'm immediately, I don't care how nice you were, how kind you were, how hospitable you were, it's a no. Yeah. Because you think about it, everything in the airport, all the good stuff is on the other side of security. But we need to put parameters in place to ensure that we're guarding our heart as we're entering into relationships. And I've had people who were super dope that I've met, and I get in my car after the event, whatever it is. And I'm like, Holy Spirit, let's take them through. What color is this person? And he's like, it's a red. I blocked the number. I'm going to disconnect on social media. I don't need to entertain something that could potentially compromise the mission.
Yeah.
And who you have with you can compromise the mission. Jonah is a prime example of this. Jonah was supposed to go to Tarshish. Jonah chose to go to Nineveh. You drowned them people resources in that boat because you didn't want to listen to the Lord.
Yep.
Now you got to be in the belly of a whale. I knew it stunk. You know it stunk.
Right. You're inside of a fish that eat fish. I know it smells like fish inside of fish.
But that's the thing. You don't even take into consideration how you compromise other people's journeys when you are disobedient. If God said no, then you don't need to be kicking it with Shorty. I don't care how nice she is, how successful she is, how many followers she has. Oh, but she's a friend of one of my friends.
Yep.
Maybe the Lord hasn't given your friend that revelation.
Or maybe she's just not listening.
Or maybe she cool for her, she just not cool for you. We hate for God to tell us we can't do something, but somebody else still able to do.
Because that's the first argument we're going to bring up. But God.
But she's doing... Sorry, friend, I went on a tangent.
No, that was
please give me your thoughts on this good podcast thing.
No, that was so good. I think, too... one of the things that you said about connections, that was one of the things that I was thinking about. Sometimes you look at a person and their connections and, oh, well, this person is doing this and I want to do this. And you don't realize that, like, no, you have selfish motive. And maybe that's the reason why the Lord doesn't want you to connect with them, because you want to remain connected even when you see the fruit is not there, because you have something that you want. You have a hidden motive and agenda. That's one of the things that I ask the Lord to do when I'm meeting new people. I'm like, Lord, if there's any motive or agenda in me or in the other person, if for any reason you do not see that this is a connection that needs to happen, then please show me whatever it is. And I think so often we're always looking and examining other people's motives, and we never stop to examine our own. We never stop to examine, if I'm still struggling with gossip, if I'm still struggling with X, whatever, is my presence in this person's life going to cause them issues? Oh. Is it going to wound them? Have I reached a point of maturity to be friends with this person? Yeah. Something else that you said about your airport security thing, which I think is so cool. You're one of the healthiest people that I know. Like, you're so healthy.
Stop.
No, you really are. You always have a way of engaging with things in a healthy way and to seek the Lord's thoughts and guidance on stuff. I think that's so cool.
That's so nice. Thank you for the accolade.
You my girl. So one of the things that I've done, and I also teach my clients, couples, whatever, is, hey, let's look at our relationships like a membership tiered program. When you go into certain establishments that have membership tiers, so let's say you pay $50 a month, you get access to this. But if you pay $70 a month, you get access to this and this. You pay $100 a month, you get access to this, and all the other stuff, right? What do they have in common? They base your access based on your level of commitment. There's certain things that they're looking for. If you're willing to pay this fee every month, hey, you get access to all of these amenities that we've paid dearly for. And I teach my clients, this is the same way that we need to approach relationships. A lot of the times when we get burned, it's because we did not properly vet people. We just let them in based on superficial things, based on shared interests, and we never asked God, hey, is this person safe? And even practically, we never examine. When that girl told me that she was letting men buy her dinner and purses and all of this stuff, knowing that she didn't like them, that was a red flag. But you think that you're special. You think that, no, she just used them. She's not going to use me. No, ma'am, your day is coming.
Swiftly.
When you see traces of bad character, and it doesn't mean to cut people off, you don't take note of it. You kiki on the phone while they tell you how they got into it with this person and told them that's why your mama did. You thought you sat on the phone and listened to that conversation, and not at any point did you consider, well, what about when I disagree with this person? Is she gonna remind me? Is he going to remind me of something that I shared in confidence?
Yeah.
I think it's extremely important for us to vet people. And I say that because, and I'm glad you made the distinction early on, Christian friendships and kingdom friendships are different. Just because someone is in church, just because somebody claims Christ does not mean that they have his character. And none of us fully embody it perfectly, but there's a difference between allowing the title of Christian to cover you and actually striving to follow Christ in everything that you do. And sometimes if you encounter people that just have the title, but they got a nasty attitude, they're always talking about people, they're extremely critical, they're mean girls.
They be in the church.
Then you should vet, is this person safe? How much access? Some people are just cool to speak to. Some people are just cool when you see them in a certain setting, you kick it, you kiki. You don't tell them what's going on in your personal life. You keep it very surface. Some people, hey, we can go to brunch, but you can't come to my house. You're not coming to my house. Hey, we can go hang out here, but I'm not going to bring you around my inner circle of friends because I want to protect them.
Yes.
You're not coming. No, I'm not inviting you to the big thing that I'm doing with them. I'll do something over here with you.
And I'm going to be
and then I'm going to be, because I'm still trying to figure it out if I'm a disconnect or not. I think that it is so important for us to properly vet people. Christian does not equal character. Christian does not equal safe. Kingdom means I have seen your Christ-like character in real time. I have seen you in situations where you could have stolen that money, where you could have shortchanged that person, where you could have told that person's business, and I watched you display the love of Christ. I watched you display his character. So therefore, I feel like I can trust you a little bit more.
Yeah, that's so good. You know them by their fruit. You know the tree by the fruit. And that's what you're saying. Allow them to display their fruit so that you can make an informed decision on whether you want this person in your life or not. Because I think I speak for all of us when I say we are tired of recovering from friendship breakups and heartbreak that potentially could have been prevented had I given myself enough time to see the fruit. I feel like I've noticed this more in the 30s. We feel like it's hard to make friends. And so because of that, we find someone that we think is going to be a good friend and we latch on way too quickly before we assess.
Yeah.
And then we're having to backtrack because they're being who they are. You just didn't give them enough time to display those different qualities and characteristics. So what would you say to the women who are in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and they're wanting to have kingdom relationships?
I think the first thing, my dad always says this, and this is also scriptural. If you want friends, you show yourself friendly. You be the kind of friend that you want to have. I think that so often we get burned by the wrong people and we become them in an effort to protect ourselves from them. I think it is extremely important that once we see red flags, once we've been burned, to self-assess. To not just make it about, oh, this person was a horrible person, they did this. Yes, they did. Yeah. But also examine, where was I lacking boundaries? Where did I not discern? Where did I have the discernment, but I talked myself out of it? Did I have another motive going into the friendship? What was the reason that I really continued to commit to this friendship? Was I being codependent? Did I want that person's confidence, so I wanted it to rub off? Did I like the attention that the person got, so I stuck around? Did I like the aesthetic more than the actual friendship? Did I prioritize that? Sit with how you got there. Yeah. And then from there, continue to do the work from a pure place, from a place where you're not seeing it through rose-colored glasses, but you're also not seeing it through your pain and your hurt. See it realistically for what it was and acknowledge the part that you played in it and continue to be the person that you want to be. I have found that in being committed to being authentic and to fight to continue to be who you are, even when there's no one around you that's like you, that you have shared interests with now, God always brings his people together. There are some places where as soon as I walk in the room, I have been on conferences, on trips, all the way on the other side of the country by myself. And somehow I managed to connect to another woman that's from the same place that I'm from, that loves the Lord, that has shared interests. And we're able to, hey, let's go have dinner. Let's go do this. We talk about God. I can walk into any room and I'm going to attract kingdom people because I'm committed to being that at all times, regardless of how other people have treated me in the past. I think that's a huge part. You have to show yourself friendly. You cannot become like the bad friends and still expect to attract good friends. You cannot talk about your friends when they leave the room and expect to attract loyal people. Absolutely. You can't.
Yeah.
You have to be the kind of friend that you want. And I think that when we commit to being that and are willing to go through those seasons of isolation and loneliness, or go through those seasons, it's just like dating, where you meet a person and you really, really want this to be it, and it's not. And you like, dang, we really would have been cool. And as soon as you realize, just, okay, well, I'm not going to kick it with this person. If you're willing to do that, you will find your people. It's inevitable. Like, I almost want to say that it's a guarantee. Like, there's no way that you're not going to find your people by approaching it in that way, by being authentic, by being Christ-like or striving to be Christ-like, and by being willing to part with whatever is not in alignment. That's such a big part.
I agree.
When you stay in an environment long enough, you're going to become that. I mean, if that was the case, Jesus would have been hanging with the Pharisees all the time and visiting with the apostles. He wasn't.
Yeah. What came to my mind when you were speaking is I can tell how much a person values themselves by how long they tolerate things that don't serve them. In that same way,
that's good.
I feel like some people just aren't willing to bother God enough. You think that your friendships and your relationships, this is a small matter. This is trivial. You should be able to handle this on your own. You should be able to find your people on your own. Submit it to God, because you can't do it on your own. In your weakness, his strength is made perfect. If your track record is that you have the propensity to connect with individuals that do not mean you any good, then you need to submit that to God. If you have the propensity to stay in relationships longer than you should, you need to submit that to God. Inviting him into this journey of finding new friends. I love making new friends. It's one of my top 5 favorite things to do. Now, my friends gonna say I got too many friends.
No, I don't think you do.
One time I think you told me that I had too many best friends.
Yeah, the best friend things, I just be like, okay, let's keep it cool. Like, it's everybody's not.
I hate that.
Choose.
Okay, it's not my fault that, like, I really meet the best people and then we just get so close that they become the best.
You have different pockets of friendships. I think that that's healthy. I just think not everybody best friend.
No, you're right. And maybe I need to go to therapy. Are you?
Don't.
Hold up. But seriously, even when I moved to Houston, I was struggling to make friends.
Oh, man.
And I was like, Lord, what is wrong with me? I am nice. And it's genuine. I am not like blowing smoke up your tush.
Yes.
I truly am nice. I care. I feel like I'm helpful. I'm fun. All of the things. And I could not make a single friend my first year here.
But I think that was by design.
100%.
That was exactly my story. The first year that I was here, and I would be around people and be like, I want to be her friend. That's what it was. I want to be friends. And the Lord was just like,
nope.
And it's not that I was rejected by people like outright, but it was just, I was in such a place of isolation. I would see the person and maybe we would, hey, but then nothing else would catch. And then it was like, slowly as God was moving me out of that space, the conversations would linger. And like, hey, do you want to go get drinks? Or do you want to go get brunch? Or do you want to go get, coffee? And then my friendship started to form. But I'm grateful for that season. And I want to know if you found the same thing.
I did.
When that season ended, it was like, I have never been surrounded by so many amazing people at one time.
Come on, talk about it. It's literally insane. I feel so honored. It's a privilege. The friends that I have, I feel privileged to be in covenant and connection with these people. My life would not be what it was without them. They are just as important to my identity as the person that I married. And whether these are seasonal, and I pray that all of the friends that I have right now, we just go unto death together. Yes. And then in heaven, we have like mansions like on the same street or, like adjacent.
Yes.
I mean, I've been petitioning this stuff to the Lord in my journal. Like, okay, so me and my friends, we're going to need a little subdivision.
Each other.
We're going to need a subdivision that's just for us. And then we also need to be able to vet and qualify anyone that you're trying to enter. And he probably like, why you think you get all that authority in my kingdom?
Because I'm your daughter.
I am your daughter, but I think I'm asking for a lot. I asked for a street name, Gang Lane. I mean, I've gone to... But that is just how enriched my life has been. I would have waited a lifetime for the people that I am connected to now. Oh my goodness. I wake up and when I wake up in the morning, I do 15 things that I'm grateful for. And I'm busting off names. Tierra, Val, Benny, Sharina, my mom, my dad, my sibling. And then I'm like, oh, I just named...
Thank you for holding down the fort.
Because it's really lit over here. I can call my friends about anything. Y'all check me when I'm wrong because there are times that I'm ready. We love. But and we don't always agree. I think that is something that needs to be said. In kingdom friendships, you still will have conflict with your friends.
Yes.
Conflict is there to give us a deeper understanding of the other person. Without it, then are any of us being honest?
That's how you test if this friendship is real.
A brother is born in adversity. That's what the Bible says. So...
No, that is so good. I am so grateful. Like you said, I'm so grateful for the friendships that I have now. It was worth every heartbreak.
Oh my gosh.
Every friendship breakup, every season of loneliness. It was all worth it to have the set of friends that I have now.
Yes.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. I would do it again. I wouldn't want to. But if the Lord took me through like a Job experience and then we were rebuilding things, I would do it to have this again.
Yeah.
I see when you start to really love people the way that God does, you see why he sacrificed everything is worth it. Final thoughts. And I love you. You know I love you.
No, I love you.
We can hang out all day.
And this is another thing too about my friendships. I admire each person.
100%. I respect them.
I respect them. I admire them. I can name off a list of beautiful attributes that each person has about each other. There is no everybody.
Yes, that's
everybody is gifted, anointed, is kind, is God. Like everybody.
No one's a hater.
Nobody.
We don't pull up to an event and everyone's looking good and someone has something negative to say about someone else or we're gossiping about someone else. Absolutely not. It is so healthy.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe because you know that it's good when you can bring your other friends around your new friends and then they become friends and you got to check them because why are y'all hanging out at happy hour without me?
And why do y'all have each other's numbers and using it?
Let's put us in a group thread.
Why are y'all talking without me?
Why are y'all talking?
But no, I love that.
I love it.
There was a time where that was not happening. Like it was
bad out here.
Awkward. Yeah. I appreciate that everybody is genuinely beautiful, kind, trustworthy people. I have no issues bringing anybody around anybody.
You could come live at my house if you needed to. Don't need to. I would rather just give you money. But that's how real it is. You can live in my space. Your home is your sanctuary, your refuge.
Yeah.
You don't let everybody into your home. These are people who I would let into my home. You could stay there and I wasn't there.
I'm going over there today.
Well, no. Final thoughts to my amazing bestest kingdom friend.
I know that's right. Clock it.
Are your nails long enough to clock it?
Oh, barely. Okay, we're getting distracted. Okay, my final thoughts. My final thoughts are that if you are somebody that is still struggling to connect with your kingdom friendships, the Lord is invested in you having the right people around you to support you in being who he's called you to be. He has not called you to a life of loneliness. You don't have to be a loner. You don't have to stick it out by yourself. He has called you to the right people. Trust him in the process of bringing you to the right people. In the multitude of wise counsel is safety. So he does not desire for you to just be out here by yourself. He desires for you to be in the multitude of counsel for you to have people that you could actually call.
Absolutely.
And say, hey, what should I do about this? And they're not going to say, let's go slit the tires. They're going to say, let's slit the tires. Wait. I feel, that's conviction. No, actually, let's pray. Let's go to brunch so you can get your mind off of that. You need to come over here for a little bit, right? He desires to send you those people because they are going to be a super important part of your life. And it's not just about you serving and building the kingdom. He wants you to just enjoy people.
Absolutely.
He wants you to enjoy people just like you want to enjoy your husband. He wants you to enjoy your friendships. So if you don't have it now, trust him. Keep being who he's called you to be, and you will find the right people, and life is going to be so amazing.
It's going to be so amazing. It's his design. We were not created to do life alone.
No.
That was the only thing in Genesis that when God created it, he said it wasn't good because man was alone. I'm going to make him a helper because two are better than one. And my final thought would be, don't latch on to people because you feel like you've gone through a long season of being alone. Trust that the Lord is preparing the right people for you and that he's going to bring them to you. And he knows how you feel, what you're thinking, what you need. He's aware of all of that, and he's preparing it for you. And when he brings it to you, you'll be in a position to receive if you have not filled up your space with people who are not supposed to be there. We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Unraveled Pod. Bye.
Bye.